Hello, I'm Declan Harvey. The victim of a racist attack in North Belfast has said she will not be intimidated out of her home and she intends to stay there with her 2 children. That is despite the window of their living room being smashed on Thursday night. And in fact, theirs is one of a number of homes targeted in this part of the city. Let me show you. We're talking about the Lower Old Park area between the Crumlin and Cliftonville roads. Now, over the weekend, properties were attacked in Manor Street and the Summerhill Court area. But earlier in the summer, there were sectarian attacks just around the corner. Homes of Catholic families were attacked in Alloa Street and Annalise Street. That was back in May. Well, the local victims campaigner Raymond McCord says he brokered a deal at the time to prevent victims having to flee their homes straight away. And he's now revealed that that deal has broken down. Our reporter Kevin Sharkey has been to the area.
The people who attacked these homes had a message. They do not want people from elsewhere in their area. On the other side of the street, a sign of more damage outside a family home. And inside, a young family from a Nigerian background.
I was literally looking around the area. I realized there was 2 other houses that's been smashed as well. And there were graffiti on my walls saying locals only. And they had the sign on my door and my car to say I'm a target.
So how long have you been living here?
Since March of 2025. And this is actually my second attack. My first attack happened on the 3rd of July, which was my back window. My back window was smashed.
Questions are now focused on who or what organisation, if any, may have been responsible for these attacks.
I have no idea who is responsible, and it doesn't change my view of what occurred. It is wrong, and it is actually damaging to this community.
Do you think might paramilitaries have been involved from your local knowledge?
As I say, I'm not able to comment on who has carried out these attacks. I'm working with the local community group, also with statutory agencies. I appeal for calm and for no further incidents.
Last week's racially motivated attacks here on homes along Manor Street and at Summerhill Court come just months after sectarian attacks on homes on Alloa Street and a new development at Annalise Street just around the corner. The victims campaigner Raymond McCord claims he brokered a deal to prevent the victims having to flee their homes immediately after the sectarian attacks in May in and around this new development. But he says that deal subsequently broke down.
The deal was brokered that the families' homes wouldn't be attacked. They were being threatened to be petrol bombed and pipe bombed. They wouldn't be attacked in any way whatsoever. And once they left it and their furniture was there, nothing would happen at all till it got rehoused. I think the deal was done on a Monday. And on Friday, I got a phone call from the guy I was using for intermediary to pass it on, saying, I was told to ring you, the deal's off, and the families have to get out now.
Following the recent racist attacks in this area, the Justice Minister says action is planned to tackle hate crime.
I will be bringing forward in the autumn a sentencing bill which will include hate crime provisions, and I will be bringing forward a victim and witnesses bill next spring which will include special provisions for those who are victims of hate crime. But this is not something that a single person or a single minister can either be held fully responsible for or be expected to resolve. This is a societal issue.
But while the wider community waits for action from Stormont, one of the victims of the latest attacks is planning her own action to reach out to the local community. So you're determined to stay here despite the fact your home was attacked?
Yeah, I'm determined.
The window was broken, it's boarded up now, you're staying where you are?
I'm determined to stay here. I'm going to try and reach out. We could come together and do like a street festival where we'd bring our food out, we'd bring our African games, our African food, get other families to participate as well, and just kind of like get to know everybody and realize that we're not the enemy, we're not bad. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. And if you cut me or if you cut yourself, it's only red blood. So we all the same, irrespective of colour.
CFA, ending that report by Kevin Sharkey. Now, this evening, we heard from police that they are investigating another racist attack. I think we can bring you some pictures. Police say that 6 vehicles have been destroyed in an arson attack in the Lisnevina Road area of Ballymena. It happened around 10 o'clock last night, and they are appealing for witnesses. And then there's this, graffiti on a garden wall also being considered a racially motivated attack. This was in Donaghadee over the weekend. Neighbours of a young mother and her 3 children who were forced from their home say they're in shock. Cormac Campbell reports.
Boarded up windows, broken glass and graffiti. Last night, just before 10 p.m, this house on the Kalahi Road was attacked. Its residents, believed to be a Latvian mother and her 3 children, are understood to have left the area. Police say they're treating the attack as a racially motivated hate crime. For neighbours, it's come as a shock.
I heard the noise of the window being broken and I thought it was thunder or lightning or something like that. But after that, I keep my blinds closed once it gets dark in the evening, you know. We've never had that sort of trouble at any time, in any way. As I say, I've lived here for 60 years and I've never had any trouble, you know. I didn't know them other than to speak to, what they were or whatever. A girl and 3 children. But I mean, the children could have been very badly hurt by what they did, you know.
In town, the local Community Development Association says there's a small migrant population here.
The lady was so traumatised and shocked, she got in her car and with her 3 children and left the scene within 25 minutes, and they don't think she'll ever be seen in Donaghadee again. She was in such bad shape. People are horrified that this sort of thing can happen in such a scenic, beautiful town.
It's slightly below the Northern Ireland average, but there's still 150 people in Donaghadee who come from outside the British Isles. These people are contributing to our community and we want them to feel safe and secure.
This local councillor says work will now take place to prevent future incidents.
I would like to think we can make it not happen again, nip it in the bud. It's happened, we are ashamed, we're disappointed, it's embarrassing. And it's not Donaghadee, and I don't want to hear opening my newspaper in the morning or listening to the news of another attack.
Police say they're keen to speak to anyone who may have seen someone dressed in dark clothing and riding an electric scooter in the area at the time. Cormac Campbell, BBC Newsline, Donaghadee.
The Taoiseach